Hey folks, Dad here with Elevation Diecast Racing. Happy Friday. We missed our Thursday night RealRider race, so without any further delay, in lane number 1, driving the Fast and Furious 70 Chevy Nova SS driven by Joe Clayton, he'll be taken on from the Matchbox Collector Series. It's that 2012 Lexus LFA driven by Cut Rocker Diecast, Bavarian Diecast Racing, Aramis Rodriguez, Hot Rods Customs, and Cowboy Diecast. Good luck in your picks today. Woo! Wow. 2175 is a really good time for a RealRider, and that Lexus spells one and done to the Nova. Okay, next up in the blocks, driving for Jada Pink Slip's car in the Audi R8 Spider. Drivers are Raymond Gainey and Dada Racing. They'll be taking on the Hawaiian Punch Johnny Lightning. Driven by Keith Smith, Griffin Soul Diecast Motorsports, and Lobo Tommy. Good race, but the Audi R8 turns up the juice, and he'll be moving on to the next round. Okay, next up, staged and ready in lane number 1. From the Car Culture series, it is the 87 Ford Sierra Cosworth driven by Zelda Diecast Racing and Scale Racing Channel. They'll be taking on the Majorette Toyota 2000 GT, who is going driverless. Woo! Cosworth 2145. We're going to have to check the record on that one. Okay, so the RealRider record is the Lycan Hypersport at a 2130, so not too bad of a run at all by the Cosworth. And we have a track temperature of 61 degrees. Okay, next up, staged and ready in lane number 1 from the Fast and Furious Car Culture 2-pack. It is the regular Toyota Supra driven by Clay Olson. Taking on from the Matchbox Collector Series, it's the Porsche 910, driven by MD's Garage and Helium Gas. Good race. Oh, Supra shaking at the end. We'll switch them up. 2182 is the time to beat. A little closer race that time, but 2182 by the Porsche in the first round. Race will go to the next round. All right, next up, staged and ready, is the other half of the 2-pack. It is the 2021 Toyota GR Supra, driven by Bad Fast Kentucky and KS Racing. They'll be taking on that beautiful Alfa Romeo Giulia, driven by the Chase Family Racing. Good race. And a 10,000th beat by the Alfa. Let's switch lanes. What a race. 2205 is the time to beat. Wow, 2185 laid down by the Alfa, moves him to the next round. All right, next up in the blocks, staged and ready in lane number 1 is the 1988 Chevy Monte Carlo Matchbox, driven by Dad's Race Team. He'll be taken on from the Fast and Furious Motor City Muscle Series. It is the 87 Buick Grand National GNX driven by Rez Wheels, Numbskull Racing, Brian 4114 Racing, and Northern Roads Racing. Let's see who takes it down the lane first. What a race. One and done victory. 2174, another good time laid down. Moves the Buick Grand National on. Right, next up in the blocks from the Fast and Furious Motor Muscle Series, it's the 66 Chevy Nova taking on from Majorette. It is the WRC Ford Focus, driven by J.C. Hayes. Good race. Nova gets him 2212 to 20. Let's switch them up. 2112 is the time to beat. Wow. 2232 won't get it, but weird runs. Nova moving on to the next round. All right, last race of round number 1 in lane number 1 is the 16 Chevy Camaro driven by DXP Diecast Racing. and he'll be taking on from the Fast Superstars Fast and Furious 70 Chevelle SS, driven by the Mountain Pirate. Let's see who takes it down the lane first. Wow, what a race. Camaro. Woo! And how did that happen? He didn't even register a win. A time. Did you see that? Oh, the times I just wish I had instant replay. That was weird. That's never happened. We're going to run them again. This time we'll put the Camaro in lane 2. Very strange. All right. Take 2. All right. Camaro with a 2204. We'll switch them again. 2204, the time to beat. Wow, Camaro. We'll be moving on to the next round. All right, here we go. Round number 2. It is the Lexus taking on the Audi R8. Good race. Woo, very close. 219 to 14. We'll switch them. 219. 2191, the time to beat. Wow, Alfa Romeo 2175. Good times. Also a good time by the Audi, but not enough to get to round number 3. Okay, we have a Sierra Cosworth. A Ford Cosworth taking on a Porsche 910. Wow. 2144. Oh, my Lanta. That, unfortunately for the Porsche, is one and done. All right, it's 2 beautiful cars in the blocks. 87 Grand National taking on the Alfa Romeo. Good race. Grand National. Wow, 2173. Let's switch them. 2173 is the time to beat. Wow. 2178. Oh, what a close race. Man, the Grand National moving on by a tick. All right. It's the 2016 Camaro taking on the 66 Chevy Nova. Good race. Camaro got him on the back end. 2219 to 30. 2219, the time to beat. Wow. 2207. And that Camaro is sailing on. All right, here is a look at the quarter or the semifinal round. Final 4 cars, and it looks like we got some speed out of this bunch. I think most of these are going to make it into the ranks. We're going to find out here in a little bit. This should be a good race. It's the Cosworth taking on the Lexus. Wow, Cosworth just blew his doors off. 2137. And that gap at the end puts him into the final race. All right, it is down to the Grand National and the Camaro. Which one's going to see? Wow. 2182 to 21. 2182, the time to beat. Wow. Grand National picking up speed. 2172 gets him to the final race. But first, let's see who's taking third spot on the podium, at least for now. Wow. Lexus 2181 to 01. 2181, the time to beat. Wow. Lexus putting the Camaro to rest. 2177. And here's our race final. The second place finisher here will go against the third place Lexus to determine rightful second and third place. Grand National, Cosworth, final. Here we go. Wow. 2139. I don't think we need to run another one, but we're going to anyway, just for the 2 in a row. And the Cosworth. 2140 puts the Grand National on the podium underneath the winner. Okay, let's see who's second, Lexus or the Buick. Wow, good race. 2176 to 80, a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. 2176 will be the time to beat. Wow, good race. 2176 to 80, again, identical times after switching lanes. Wow, what an end to the race here. All right, and here is your overall winner in the car culture. 87 Ford Sierra Cosworth, driven by Zelda Diecast Racing and Scale Racing Channel. Very good job, gentlemen, on picking the winner of this RealRider Series race. Coming in second place was the Matchbox Collectors 2012 Lexus LFA, driven by Cut Rocker Diecast, Bavarian Diecast Racing, Aramis Rodriguez, Hot Rods Customs, and Cowboy Diecast. And heading up the number 3 spot from the Fast and Furious Motor City Muscle Series, it was the 87 Buick Grand National GNX, driven by Res Wheels, Numbskull Racing, Brian at 4114 Racing, and Northern Roads Racing. Congratulations on picking. I'm glad to see lots of drivers picking winners in this one. Always a tough pick when you're rolling the RealRiders. Now, I think we all want to see this race. The Lykan Hypersport is my fastest RealRider as of right now. Let's see if that Cosworth can catch him. Should be a really good race. Cosworth, ooh, he does get him. Wow. 2137 to 41. We'll switch him. 2137 is the time to beat. 2133 gets him. Oh, I don't believe it. I do believe it. I can't believe it. Lykan Hypersport. Look at that. 2133 and a 5,000 speed. All right, let's see how he fares against the Mustang. He sits in the number 2 spot. Oh, the Mustang. 2137 to 45. 2137 and a greater than 8,000 speed needed. Oh, and the Cosworth could not catch him. Let's see how he does against the Majorette Toyota Celica. Really like that cast. Very sharp car. And just to think, I almost didn't get it. All right, 37 to 39. Let's switch them. Celica needs a greater than 2,000 speed and a 2137. Not going to happen, and the Cosworth will find himself in the number 3 spot in the RealRider class. Very, very good. I'll run the rest of these off camera as I will be going through the rest of these to see if we can shape them up. Maybe we'll make them shorts. So from all of us over here at Elevation Diecast Racing, if your RealRider isn't fast, don't feel bad. I'm a nut. I have a whole bunch of slow ones, and they don't even look good on the shelf. See ya.